What's going on, everybody? Dogman Dan here. I want to talk about Devstream overview. 92 Devstream, if you will. Probably by the time this goes up, the 2 alerts are probably just about finished. More than likely. But, so there were 2 alerts. There's a GIF and Lotus, and then there was actually a Design Council challenge. Now, I'll be honest with you, I haven't checked the Design Council pages in like a year or more. So I didn't even know that there was a challenge that was being put up, and we got to choose what the challenge was. But, you know, if you get in there, if you still got time, or if you did it, I'd be curious what you thought of the Design Council Challenge, because I saw what the vote-ups were on what was chosen to be that challenge. And, of course, the reward was 50k credits and Nightan extract. Always a good thing. I'm curious what you thought of it, or what you think of the fact that players get to choose maybe a challenge mission that the whole player base gets to play. I mean, I think it's kind of cool. But anyway, next on the consoles, you guys are getting the Ambulas Reborn, Chroma Deluxe. All this should be releasing on Monday the 15th, from what has been stated. The Razorback Armada has started on PC. It's just a little event. Again, very grindy as always. The ultimate part of the event, I believe, is the Gorgon Wraith pieces drop, from what I've been understanding. Otherwise, you know, it's credits, it's catalysts, and I think you can get the toxic dual stat mods, such like that, if you will. Not something I'm going to worry about too much. I already got the Gorgon Wraith, already got pretty much all the mods, you know, but it's there if you don't have him. Apparently there was an Umbra incident. He was acquired illicitly, and don't get your hopes up, because it ain't happening. Just saying. So, a couple things to talk about inside this dev stream. First part was Harrow, okay? They kind of showed the Warframe, talked about him a bit. The first and secondary weapons with the scope, his alternate helmet. I should say the first secondary weapon with a scope, which gives you more benefits with more headshots that you land, such and so forth. What everybody really pretty much cares about is the abilities, if you will. So passive, he's going to get double overshield capacity. Now, that's interesting, because I'm thinking about that one. If you're in a group like the way I have my setup now, with my RTAX that I've been using over Helios, and let's say I am using my NASA, I can get a 1425 overshields with my RTAX. Now, if that's double, that's 2850 shields on NASA, and yeah, I mean, that's crazy. And just imagine some of those other frames that already have high shields. You're gonna, oh good god, that's gonna be crazy running around with the double overshield capacity as a passive. With the Priest frame, if you will, with Harrow. Let's call him Harrow. So the ability breakdown, we got ability number 1, creates a ray that chains enemies, leaving them open for headshots. Synergizes with his kit. You obtain shields for each enemy that you hit. The second ability is casting Sacrifice. It'll sacrifice your shields. Gaining a buff that lasts longer than more shields are sacrificed in exchange for reload and fire rate buffs. While it's active, you will also heal allies in affinity range for a percentage of damage dealt. So that's pretty interesting what you can do there. You're going to lose your shields, but you're going to gain a buff that'll last longer anyway. And in exchange, you're going to give fire rate and reload buffs to your crew, and also heal them for a percentage. And we don't know what the percentage heal is over the damage dealt yet, but that's interesting. Number 3, casting spawns a spectral thurible, which grants you energy for every headshot you get within its range. The longer you hold 3 down, the more energy and ability costs, but the more energy you'll make back per headshot kill. So that's going to be an interesting one to play with, because you got to hold that down while you're trying to kill. Yeah, I guess. Okay. But it's basically getting you energy back if you will. Sure. Sure. For every headshot. Okay. I could go with that. Probably a little challenging, but it could happen. Ability number 4, casting makes you invulnerable for a short duration. Now, once the invulnerability ends, you will gain additional critical chance on headshots. The more damage prevented in the first place, the larger the damage bonus will be. So, it's going to be interesting. So his niche is that he gives you double overshields. Where like Oberon is now, giving you more armor buffs. Where of course Trinity is still the overall healer, and will always be the only real true healer. Direct straight up heal. So it's interesting how they brought that in there this time around. Okay, we'll see how he plays out. Next up, we're going to talk about the Nox. More Grenier enemies are coming as part of the new Elite Chem Strike unit. So they put the first one up. Use chemical attacks, which has negative effect on their flesh. They're going to be giving him his own voice and his own smoke effects in his helmet to help hide his wonderful face, if you will. But that's there, so they're still working on him. Work in progress on his weapon as well, so we'll see what that chemical style weapon is. Should be interesting. Multiplayer Captura. Host control the time. Clients can snap pics and alter lighting. Yes, you'll be able to access Captura rooms that you do not own if the host has it and takes you there. So multiplayer Captura, that should be interesting. I see we're expanding our endgame. Definitely expanding our endgame. But, pictures are fun, right? Pictures are always fun to take. Sure. It shows off, but I think the issue with Captura, multiplayer Captura, is that it's only 4 people. Give us Captura mode where we can have our whole clans, or, 30, 40 people of our clans, whatever. Bigger groups of just more than 4 people, and then you've got something pretty awesome in that regards where you can really showcase off your whole clan of people. Let's say in your dojo, let us do it in the dojos, that type of thing. That is kind of cool. Still doesn't really add to endgame. Chat filters. They demoed the chat filters in the Devstream. They showed off how you can personalize filters per channel. So that's what it is. I pretty much just have most channels turned off anyway, except for my clan, except for the Alliance, except for the Design Council. Everything else is pretty much turned off. New webcomic coming. It's coming with Harrow's release and will be related to his quest. It will be twice as long as the previous webcomic. So this should be interesting. Separate colorable items. Your armor and Sin Honor will soon use separate color channels, so you'll really be able to enhance the coloring of your fashion frame, if you will. So, yeah, it's all about fashion and it's all about taking pictures. Sorry about that, I hit my mic. Melee and gun. Basically following up to the new features released in the last Devstream, or revealed in the last Devstream. They showed another work in progress, ideas on what could come with the melee and the sidearm system. They're committed to doing a glaive and sidearm for sure, of course, taking us back to the Dark Sector days, but we won't really reference that, right? But the shown machete and discussed expansions may not ship for quite some time, which is obvious. I mean, they're going to work on this piece by piece, right? So, glaive and sidearm will be first, and then they'll move on from there. Other things. Mags Deluxe is still being worked on, but will not release this month. ABC options may be added for operator customizations, but probably not for their faces. Prisma hiatus. Wanted to stop making so many different variations of the same weapon while making them more interesting. took a break to approach these variations more carefully. So Prisma weapons will be on hiatus for a while, I guess. There are internal conflicts around the universal vacuum, but we are open to it. However, we are looking into options outside of treating every companion as the same. Correct. I don't even use the universal vacuum. If I wanted to use the carrier, I would use the carrier and then I would have the vacuum. I don't particularly give a crap about the vacuum feature. To me, it's useless. I can run around and pick up most of my mods and stuff. Doesn't bother me. If I miss one or two, it's not going to kill me. It's my fault for missing them. Universal vacuum to me is just completely useless, but that's just me. We'll look into fixing syndicate death squads so they don't attack you while you're helping them out. So, okay, you're on the same team and they come and attack you. Go figure. Future of Rivens, melee Rivens, plus more lore. Oh boy. They need to find different ways to bring Riven mods into the game. Not just the stupid sorties that, my god, I don't even know. I'll do one sortie in a month, if that. It's just, sorties are a complete waste of time for me. When I've only got about an hour or so in the game, I'm not going to spend it playing sorties. That's a waste of my time. MOA companions are a possibility. And then they talk about the remote observer and volume 4.5, which is basically a roundup of things that are important in game changes and stuff. So some stuff you may have missed. They reduced the knockdown chance when caught in the blast area of a Grineer Hellion missile. And this is pretty much all related to PC right now. Okay. They fixed the reloading of charged bow shot, not canceling the shot. This is an important one here where they fixed casting one-handed abilities like Volt Shock, Ember's Fireball, and so on. Canceling weapon reloads, which was something that was noted. So that wasn't intended, so they fixed that. Fixed not being able to input the data mass into a mobile defense terminal if someone is standing in the way, or being able to use the vault doors of an Orkin derelict if there's a Cavet or Kubro or other player in the way. That is something that should have been fixed a very long time ago. But it's done. It's out of the way. Then, of course, console Tennos, there was no updates because Monday, as always, we discussed early here, you are going to be getting the Ambulas Alert Reborn event, if you will. Okay. That's it for now. I'll catch you guys soon. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed.